So in this part, I start off by doing a series of altered chromatic runs. And I begin with my fourth finger on the third string 11th fret. And that note would be a G sharp. I go from G sharp down to my first finger on the third string 10th fret. That would be an F, G sharp to F. Then I go up to my second finger, which is on an F sharp, 11th fret, then to a G, 12th fret, all on the third string, back to the 11th fret, then back to the 10th fret. So it goes like this. Okay, and then I go to the fourth string and I repeat the exact same pattern. So the 11th fret, which would be a D sharp, down to a C on the 10th fret, up to C sharp on the 11th fret, D on the 12th fret, back to C sharp, back to C. Okay, then for the third pattern, I switch my first finger with the fourth finger right there, and that is on the C fourth string, and I go to the A on the 7th fret, fourth string, up to A sharp, then to B, back to A sharp, 8th fret, A on the 7th fret. And it goes. It's the same pattern, just in on different areas of the fretboard. And then for the last part, it's a slightly different variation. I do. So you start on the A flat, and that is on the 11th fret, 5th string, you can see that. And then I go down to the F, which is on the 8th fret, 5th string, F sharp, which is the 9th fret, 5th string, G, which is the 10th fret, 5th string. And I end, once I'm on that G, I go into a basic G major arpeggio. And that is just G on the 10th fret, 5th string, B on the 9th fret, 4th string, D, 12th fret, 4th string. And then all the patterns together are. Okay, so that's the first series of altered chromatic runs. And then what I do is I repeat them again. Just like that. Okay, and then what I do is back here at the beginning of that run, I modify it to this pattern. I play that 2 times. And so basically it's the same pattern to begin with, 11th fret down to the, not 11th fret, 13th fret down to 10th fret, up to 11 to 12 to 11 to 10. And then this time I switch it and I push my first finger down to the 9th fret, 3rd string. So actually what I'm doing there is more along the lines of a straight on chromatic pattern. So I go 9th fret, 10th, 11th, 12th, back to 11th, 10. Okay, and then after that I do more of a straight on chromatic run to end the first section. Right here. And let me explain the positioning on this. So you go in from this pattern. Okay, so it's C major, the beginning of a C major arpeggio, and you're gonna want to start this with your first finger on the E and then your second finger going to the C. And then what you want to do is take your pinky and this, or fourth finger. This might be one of the trickier parts of this run because you have to switch to your fourth finger right there. And what makes this advantageous is you go into this run. So the chromatic. So when you come back up from here, okay, so you basically end on the G note on the 3rd fret right before you go into the next part of the solo, which goes up here and repeats that cycle. So you start off once again, 1st finger on the 9th fret, 3rd string, 2nd finger on the 10th fret, 4th string, and then the arpeggio continues with your 4th finger on the 10th fret, 5th string, and you add in a passing F on the 5th string down to E, and then you go back to G, or it's not G, C, right here. And then you repeat it going up. So the whole lick goes. Okay, so that's the first half of this part of the solo. So altogether we have the chromatic runs. The arpeggio. Okay, so for the second part of this section of the solo, if you will, we go back to what we just went through with this. And we essentially just play that 2 times through. And then to end this part of the solo, we go like this. Okay, and you remember that from when we did it down here after this run. But we're obviously doing it now right here. And this was the, or is the C major, based on the C major arpeggio. This one here is on the 12th fret, basically the 4th string, and we're doing a D major arpeggio. Same pattern, so we basically just go from and as you could see, we go, okay, and we have to do another position shift like before. So we're doing the G major arpeggio, and then we're going to take our 1st finger all the way up here to the 11th fret, 3rd string, then take our 2nd finger down to the 12th fret, 4th string, and then this run here on the 5th string, starting on the A 12th fret, A, G, then F sharp, D, and then back up. And when you end, you're going D, F sharp, G on the 12th fret, 3rd string, and then 4th finger, which is going to be on the 3rd string, 14th fret. Okay, and so the whole lick goes like this. Okay, and then to end this comes the big arpeggio run on D major. It goes like this. Okay, that may look a little bit daunting, so we'll take that really slow. So we go to the A on the 6th string, okay, and then we go up to, that's the 5th fret by the way, A, to the D, which is on the 5th string, 5th fret. And now we're going to outline D major. So it's D, F sharp, A, D on the 5th string, 5th fret, F sharp on the 4th fret, 4th string, A, 7th fret, 4th string. And then the rest goes up to D, F sharp, A, and then D, E, F sharp. Added that passing E in there. So these two kind of are almost a repeat, just one octave higher. A, D, F sharp, A, and then we have D, which is on the 3rd string, 7th fret, F sharp, which is on the 2nd string, 7th fret, and then we have A, which is on the 2nd string, 10th fret. And then we have the D up here, 10th fret, 1st string, E, 12th fret, 1st string, F sharp. I'm using my 4th finger on the 14th fret, 1st string. Obviously you want to practice that slowly because there's 3 shifts in position. So that is all of the phrases that I do in this section. So to conclude the solo altogether, I do a refrain back to the opening licks that I did way back in part 1 of this video series, starting with, and that right there is the G major arpeggio, G, B, D, G. And then I go into a run. And so we go from the G major arpeggio into basically the G major scale. When we hit that G on the 5th fret, 4th string, we go from G down to E, then to C, meaning we are on a C major chord then. So the whole thing goes. Okay, then it repeats again. And this time I'm doing the C or the G major up here. Except I'm going off the D, D, G, B, D. And now we're going over to the D major, well, D7. Okay, so the whole thing right now would be C, do it again, G, switch to the D7. Now we go back to G major. And this time I enhance this by doing a run. Actually, it goes. So my apologies, I don't do the A before the G on that run. G, E, C. Okay. And then I go up on the C. And there, that's a little bit of a position shift because you're going to go E, G, E on the 2nd fret, 4th string, G on the 5th fret, 4th string, and then I like to do where I take my, that may be hard to see right there, but I take my first finger on the C, 5th fret, 3rd string, E, which is the 5th fret, 2nd string, back to the C on the 5th fret, 3rd string, and then I do a, so what I do is I basically down to the F sharp, and I'm emphasizing that I'm going to the G. And what I'm doing is I'm playing 2 notes. So I'm picking twice. And all I'm doing by doing the double picking is just adding more emphasis because we're coming to the conclusion of the whole solo. So the whole thing goes like this. Back to the G. Now the run. To C. Back to G. and I just decided to end with single notes. And that is it. So that concludes the Guitar Soloing Tips video series. I hope that some of the licks that I demonstrated to you and the patterns and the instruction that I provided you with to help you play these kind of patterns or whatever patterns you wish, I hope that they are going to be beneficial with you and you utilize them in your soloing as you go along. One more thing I want to point out is even if these kind of licks are not your thing, I'm hoping that what you get from these videos is ideas on applying different kind of phrasing from the beginning of a solo when you're reaching the peak or the climax of the solo, and then when you're concluding the solo. I hope this kind of gives you maybe a different perspective than your own and gives you some ideas to utilize going forward. So if you like the contents of this video and my other videos, please select the like icon, leave a comment down below, and also please subscribe to my channel. I always appreciate your support, and you can stay on top of my future video releases. Thank you.